Who are the Nephilims, part 19. I'm Professor Hannes Redlinghuis of the First Assembly of Yafashua in South Africa, Pretoria, Montana. Should you require any of the books which I've written or the restoration of the original Sacred Name Bible, the Rotterdam version, the 1860 Bible, any questions or want to know anything, contact Pastor Rika, my wife, 0722 367 124. That's a WhatsApp number, plus 27, international number. Go to my website, https://yahvah.co.za. If this is the first time that you are looking or participating in a study, please go to part 1, start from the beginning. You must subscribe, it's very, very important. I'm going to just slip by all the announcements and we're going to start straight away. And then tomorrow morning again I will do the different announcements. I trust that this study is going to be a blessing unto you. And just before we start, I trust that you have brought some safety belts with you. Otherwise might injure yourself falling out of your chair. Welcome to Breakfast with Prof. Hannes. We will continue now. Genesis 3 verse 14, I'm just going to start with it where we end yesterday morning, just to get the whole picture again. For Yahweh Almighty said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle. Now you must listen here. When Yahweh speaks to this serpent standing here in all his glory, he looks like a man. He laid down and he beguiled Eve. And now he is cursed. So he's not the little snake that we know today. He is a serpent looking like a man, with the intelligence of a man. Now, the curse of Genesis 3:14. Yahweh our Elohim said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, you've done what? Given Eve an apple? No. Because you had intercourse with Eve. Because you messed with her. Because thou hast done this. Thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast in the field. Now listen, what is the curse? Upon thy belly shalt thou go. But in other words, you will no longer walk on 2 legs and use your arms and your mind and your attractive body. On your belly thou shalt go. You will move on your belly. And dust thou shalt eat all the days of your life. With other words, you will eat little animals and you will eat dust. You will be in the dust and you will crawl. You will never have the glory of a serpent ever again. Now, this is what I said when we started Monday morning. I'm just going to say it now again. The serpent is not Satan. The serpent, because he's a human-like beast, was able for the Satan to infiltrate into him. You understand what I'm saying? He's not Satan. He is the serpent. Now Yahweh said unto him, on your belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt eat all the days of thy life. Till today. Little snake. Psst. He never looked like this. He was just straight up. And you know what? It always bothered me. Since I was a young man. How could a snake speak to Eve? Because we never knew anything about a beast. That was a serpent and not a snake. Now, he's the snake. The curse of Genesis 3:14 is, you will become a snake now, and you will eat the dust. You will go on your belly. You're not going to walk anymore. and you will eat dust the rest of your life. Now listen to the curse that continues in verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. Now this is also a curse of the future. Because between Satan's seed and Yahushua seed, there's a curse. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between her seed and your seed, her offspring and your offspring. It shall bruise your head. With other words, the woman's seed will crush your head. And thou shalt bruise her heel, so you will bite her on the heel. And that's why most of snake bites happens in the lower leg, not specifically in the heel, but in the lower leg. So what is the curse? You will move on your belly, you'll eat dust, and you will flee from humans. Because if humans find you, they will crush your head. Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, that's Yahweh, I will greatly multiply thy sorrows and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. I mean, on that stage, it was only the sperm that was inside of the serpent and Adam that was inside her. She hasn't even showed the movement of a belly or nothing. That was something to come in time. But here is a curse spoken unto the woman. Verse 16. Now Yahweh cursed the woman. I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, giving birth. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And that's why today even, men is to rule over women. I'm not a woman's lip tie. If it happens, I say the ladies got their place in life. I was in business for more than 40 years, 45 years. I always said that, or the saying is, behind every successful businessman is a successful woman. I've said no all my life. I say next to every successful businessman is a successful woman. Not behind, next to. We are one. My wife doesn't need to walk behind me. We walk next to, even today, I mean, after many, many years, when we walk around, we take hands, we hold hands, she doesn't walk behind me. In the African tradition, most of the women walks behind the men. But the curse of the Bible is that you will bring forth children, you will, with sorrow, you will conceive children. And your desire will be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Now I want to say this rule part here, that created a lot of problems for a lot of generations. Previously the generations before us, where men had women like that. And where Sarah called Abram, my Lord. So, Pastor Rika doesn't need to call me my Lord, because she knows her place in our marriage, in our lives, in the ministry. But she's my partner, she's my wife, she's my lover, she's my everything, she's my equal. But when it comes to the word, when it comes to the household, Yahweh's made man the priest of his house. He is to rule, he is to make the decisions. Yes, I know today a lot of things is different in life. Some guys doesn't get work. So the husband is staying at home, the wife has got a good position, she's earning big salary, the husband is taking the children to school, he's doing the ironing, he's doing the washing, he's cleaning the house, because there's no money for servants and all this, so the role has changed around. But it's not a sin. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a mutual agreement to make things work, to make it easier when his wife is coming back from work in the afternoon, so she doesn't need to do all the things that need to be done in the household. And I say that is a man and a woman that loves each other, is to find a mutual common ground, a mutual agreement. This is what I will do, you will do that. But I remain, although I iron and although I work the washing machine and the dishwasher, I am, according to the word of Yahweh, I am to rule over my house. And not shout and scream. And I just want to say something that just comes to mind. You can't be a ruler of your house or a priest of your house, and you're coming in on a Friday night and you have a couple of shots in your wagon. Is that an example? No, that is bad news. Who wants to submit to a priest like that, or a ruler like that, or a husband like that? He smells like a bottle store. Who wants to? You can't. If you want to be the priest of the house, if you want to be what Yahweh intends you to be, you need to live a life of holiness and guide your family. Listen what I'm saying. Not chase your family, guide your family in the revelation word of Yahweh our Elohim. Verse 17. And to Adam he said, now he's talking to Adam, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, thou hast eaten of the tree of which I command thee, saying. Now you did exactly what Eve did. The sins are equal. She enjoyed the serpent, you enjoyed Eve. Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. This is the curse. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all days of thy life. Can you imagine if he haven't enjoyed Eve? Oh, all right, then it would just be Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. We would have been there. But Yahweh had a plan with everything, eh? Cursed, cursed, cursed. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all days of thy life. Now listen, tell me, and I've actually guided you in this direction when we spoke about the Sabbath on the 7th day, when the Bible says in the 6th day, everything that Yahweh spoke was good. Everything was done. And he rested on the 7th day. Then I ask you, has he done everything? Has he created everything? And then I told you, he has not. Because there's something that he will create. A curse that he will speak, and he will still create. After Adam and Eve fell unto sin. And here is it, the curse. Genesis 3:18. Now he speaks to Adam. He says, you will eat of the ground with sorrow. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. So there was no thorns and thistles. So this is the curse. When you see thorns and thistles, you think about the curse of Adam. It is part of your curse. It was not part of the creation in Genesis. It was not part of the shrubs that Yahweh made when Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden. This is the sign of the curse. It's the thorns and the thistles. And one day I will preach a message about the thorns and the thistles. The curse that happened in Genesis 3 verse 18. Thorns and also thistles shall bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. You shall live from the field. You will work yourself to death, and then the government will tax you to death. Verse 19. In the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread. It doesn't mean you will eat bread till your face sweats. No, 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 no. In the sweat of your face you will work for your bread. It's not going just to fall on your table. You will work for it. Yeah, it's so. There's a lot of people that doesn't work for it. There's people that's got their own businesses. They've got a lot of people working for them. But go back in history and see where that man and woman started from. They started as an apprenticeship, worked them up, start their own business, advance. You see what I'm talking about? But somewhere they worked. He ate bread, or he sweat and ate bread. He worked for what he wanted. And that's why the Bible also says, a man that doesn't want to work cannot eat. Alright, I'm going to come back to verse 19 tomorrow morning because time is catch up with this. Interesting. Read the rest of it. See what you pick up. See the revelation word. See where the churches has missed. In the last more than 600 years, they missed what the scripture taught us. Blessings till tomorrow morning. Maranatha. Yahshua is coming. Hallelujah.